Okay, I'm gonna mute my mic and
All
do
right.
some.
Yeah, question. You don't want us to stop recording, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you stop recording?
No, I did not.
Are you moving stuff around your desk right now?
No.
Did you stop recording and move stuff? No. Yeah. Please keep recording.
Yeah, no, you're good. Hey, I wanted to let you know my thing pulled up an error message, and it stopped recording.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brainal podcast. This is episode 3. I am Jepi Condile.
Frozen GFX yet again.
Mr. Giggles for the win.
For the nothing. And today is October 16th, 2015. It is a Friday, like the last couple times have been. How are you guys doing today?
Doing really good. Doing very, very good.
Doing fantastic.
Good, because everything you guys told me before we started was not fantastic. Like, it was a pretty bad week, but oh god, I have to beat that out. I got to stop doing that.
I'm telling you, man, you're cursing in your own thing. You're breaking your own rules.
I know, man. It's just, the rage just overcomes me.
In a high squeaky voice.
Moving on.
Okay, so let's just go over some random stuff. Okay, so random news. Frozen, I don't know if you've heard this. I heard this today, and I'm very curious to see what you think of it. On October 27th, there is a rumor, only a rumor, that No Man's Sky is going to be released.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
This is what I heard. I heard that somewhere from some source, something very significant with No Man's Sky is supposed to happen on October 27th. I don't know if there is if there's a Sony thing going on or whatever, but I did hear, I forgot where I heard it, that it might be one of those things where it's just like, this is the latest from No Man's Sky and it's released today or something. I don't know if Sony would do that, though, because I think they would market the crap out of that game, you know?
Yeah, I agree, but if they haven't said anything, maybe they'll do a playable demo or something like that on the 27th?
Maybe. But I know you're looking. I'm looking forward to that game, too.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that game. And ever since the announcement in E3, I've been trying to look up information on that since then. And they keep teasing with the release date, and I think as of recently, probably earlier this month, they were toying with the advertising that they're going to announce the launch date, and they never did. So it's still up in the air. Don't know when it's going to come out.
Yeah. I'm really excited, and I just want to say your voice sounds really great now. I don't know why.
Well, that's awesome because I'm putting extra inflection in my voice. And trying to overcome my crappy microphone so that you all can hear me.
Giggles, can you stop?
I didn't do it.
No, you're just giggling. Stop.
I'm glad that you find that funny. I'm very happy.
See, I don't find that funny. I find it amazing of the effort that you are putting forth.
Thank you.
Hair. I don't know
Hair.
why I said hair.
Hair.
I am really looking forward to that game. That game's going to be freaking awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I forgot who the developer is, but It wasn't Sundown. I don't know why I'm thinking Sundown.
No.
But it's I know they had a delay in development because they had that flood. I think it was about a year ago or something. But I don't know. I just can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
freaking
Hello
wait.
Games. It's the
Hello Games.
Yeah, it's the developer
Gotcha.
for that.
Gotcha. Okay, so another thing. For Black Ops 3, I don't know if you guys heard this or not.
Blobs.
Two things for Blops 3. Never mind, I was about to say something.
Careful now.
I was about to go TGIF on us. So for Black Ops 3, for the current gen consoles, PS4, Xbox One, PC, they are going to allow the campaign for anyone to play the single player campaign in any order they want. So a lot of people have been comparing that to a TV show season coming out on Netflix. And basically you could play the last mission if you wanted to before you play any of the other missions. What do you guys think about that?
So wait, let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that in the story mode, you have the ability to go in order or to just sporadically go to different missions and levels and part of that story.
Correct.
Oh wow. I don't know. I don't really like that.
I don't understand why you would do that.
Yeah, I think the reason why we don't understand why they do that is because I think all three of us, we enjoy stories. You know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that because I would imagine that the developers, they want to continue of a story or inject a new fork in the road for this franchise as far as the story itself, and you would want to present it in the way that it was supposed to be presented. That's strange. I don't get that.
Well, let me pose a question real quick pertaining to this. Has any other game that we've played done that? And if they did, do we know why they did it?
I can't think of any game that's done that.
Yeah,
I can't think of any game.
I don't think
Obviously,
any
we haven't played every game, but I can't think of anything at all. Yeah, I don't know. Unless there's something we don't know about with the story of Black Ops where, I didn't play Black Ops 2, but wasn't there, not time traveling, but wasn't there something where...
There's flashbacks.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe there's a part of that in it. Maybe there's a secret order to play things, but I have no idea. It really does seem like they're just capitalizing on, hey, you just... Oh, wait, yeah. So the other part to this news might actually illuminate a few things. In the last gen versions of Black Ops 3, 360, PS3, they're not even putting the campaign in the game. You hear that?
What?
Yeah,
What?
just straight up multiplayer.
I'd be pissed. I'd be legitimately pissed.
I mean, I hope they're not charging full price.
That is confusing. I don't understand that at all.
I'm going to look up the price right now. I'm going to mute my mic, though, so you guys don't hear the whatever.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I mean...
Keep talking.
Yeah, no. I don't understand how they think that that's even, like... There's got to be a discount on that. I mean, there's no way they could charge the same. I mean, granted, multiplayer for those games are literally 50% of the game. But that's still half the game you've just taken away.
There is a discount, but they're still charging $50.
No
So
way.
wait a minute.
Why?
So they're only... Yeah, that's
Yeah, I would think
stupid.
$40 maybe, but...
No, that's still too high. That I don't. I don't get that.
I
Well,
mean...
I know... I'm pretty sure the zombies mode is still in whatever, but... think about how long the campaign takes. I'm not saying how much you value it, but if you did plot this over time, people obviously do, on the average, I can't speak for everybody, play the multiplayer for a much greater amount of time. I can see them charging $40 and getting away with that, but at the same time, I mean...
Well, there's other games that were just multiplayer that they charge $60 for. But to come out and say we're going to take away a third of the game that normally comes out at the beginning, and only charge $10 less, that's like robbing people, in my opinion. I think that's just wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I feel like the campaign, whatever they have to pull off in the campaign, might be too taxing on the older systems or won't look as good. This does feel like to me a very last minute thing they decided. Because this news just came out last week, and this game's supposed to come out in a few weeks.
Does this sound like a money decision to anybody besides me?
I think everything's a money decision.
I definitely see it as a money decision, and it's something I was just thinking about. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the gaming industry as a whole is really hurting as far as in making revenue, unless I'm completely off by that. But it seems now the trend is, developers and publishers are now being very creative in the ways that they're able to get more money out of our wallets for the same type of games that we're used to, and even upcoming games.
Well, here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just real quick, just to build on Frozen's point, I mean, I think that's absolutely true. I mean, you have a ton of platforms you didn't have before, and mobile gaming has exploded. So for developers, I think there's like twice the amount of avenues to push their games than there was before.
Yeah, and I agree. I can see for the mobile platform, I can definitely see that, microtransactions within that, because there's a lot of people that are on the go that don't want to pay, I don't know, $9, $10 for a game, or even $1.99 for that matter. So if it's free, and then they can kind of build upon it from that point, I can understand that in general. But for a console game, if you're going to start splitting up things like this, that just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like doing a disservice to us. I'd rather go ahead and slap down $60, $70 on a complete package of a game rather than pay $60, $70 for a game that later on I'm going to have to add on to it because the original content wasn't, it was lacking in its inception.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, we can't tie this to the whole video game industry. This is not... Okay, so I feel like there are certain parts of the video game industry that are really hurting for money. I think we should tie this directly to Activision specifically. Activision, I would agree, is not hurting for money. Not at all. And they're the ones that seem to make the call for this one. This seems like an Activision thing. This doesn't seem like a Treyarch thing. But yeah, I agree. It's just strange.
So that being that you just said Activision, that puts in mind what just happened this week for Destiny, with the microtransaction for the cosmetic, emotes, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I also remember seeing something today, and I don't know if this particular game is part of the Activision lineup or if the developer is under Activision, but Payday 2
I read about that.
Yeah, just came out with a black market update for microtransactions that pretty much seem to be like skins for guns and drills to to break into a safe, things like that. So, but I'm sorry, Payday 2 being the exception because I don't know if it's Activision or not. But if it is, then yeah, I would say Activision's pretty suspect then.
Let me check really quick. Keep talking though, please.
No, you're fine. I don't understand why this whole transaction thing is growing. I don't care for it. And I think we all remember when, I forget what's his name for Destiny came out and he was like, well, it's going to be worth, he pissed everybody off and they were like, oh, it's going to be worth the $10.
Yeah, Luke Smith. Right.
Luke Smith, exactly. And everyone got mad. And then now they're coming out with this and I'm like, to be honest, why do you think, and this bogs my mind, that this is worth the money? And I mean, I know people are going to buy it because people are collectors, especially in that game. But I really I feel like this is just cheap. I mean, if they were selling me another mission, additional equipment even, MMOs have been doing that. I mean, how long how long have MMOs been doing that for? I mean, literally forever.
No, not not literally forever. Okay, remember, I care a lot about the word literally. That has not been happening since the beginning of time, nor will this happen till the end of time. Practically forever, yes.
All right.
I hate you so much, Giggles. I hate you.
Well, if it makes you feel better, practically forever, MMOs have been doing it. And I understand that. I just don't understand if, to me, it's just dumb. It's just flat out dumb, and it's wrong. If you're going to make a game, make a full game. You want to add cool stuff into it, you don't charge people for it. Charge people for actual content. That's not content. That's just aesthetics.
Yeah, couple things. Payday 2 is actually published by 505 Games, not Activision. I feel like I've never played Payday 2. I really want to, actually. But I hear great things about Payday 2. But I do feel like, I'm guessing, it's a guess, but I feel like publisher 505 Games, I don't think they make as much revenue as Activision. I think that's a fairly safe bet. So I can see them doing this. What I understand is that this game has been out almost 2 years, Payday 2, right? And now all of a sudden, really without warning, they start doing this. That's not cool.
Well, not only that, but they did say in the past that they weren't going to implement a microtransaction feature or anything like that within their game. So they've gone a complete 180 from their.
They went back on their word.
Exactly, from their point of view, whenever that interview was done.
See, that's what I don't agree with.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. I enjoy transparency. Even if, let's say, for example, from the get-go, Bungie or Activision said, hey, in the future, we will have microtransactions. I think if they said that from the beginning, things would have gone over a lot smoother. But Destiny's kind of a strange case because I don't mind microtransactions. And the fact that the microtransactions, as of now, are straight cosmetic, I'm completely okay with that.
Agreed.
And also with the idea that the content that they're going to be releasing for the next year for Destiny specifically, as far as I understand, they're not going to charge for, or at least a good amount of that content they're not going to charge for. I mean, I think that's a fair trade, you know?
You're right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sorry, Frozen, you can go.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's sad to the point when a game gets to a level where microtransactions can give you the advantage over other players playing the same game. I don't agree with that at all. Okay, but if it's completely cosmetic, such as what happened with Destiny this week, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if they do in the future go through, you could only get a certain weapon or a gear, some set of gear by buying this particular gear at their store, then I would have a serious problem with that, and I don't think I would be able to consciously play that game knowing that they would do that.
Well, don't they kind of do that? I mean, 2 points. Don't they kind of do that now with pre-orders? Because if you pre-order something or buy a special edition, you get bonus stuff.
True.
Multiple games do that.
Yeah, I think that's a sneaky way to do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
however,
that's what I'm saying. It does feel like a sneaky way to do that, but it is doing it.
However, yes, they in this case with Destiny, they have done that with the pre-orders for the Taken King. However, it was an early access, right, for like the Suros pack or whatever. So eventually, it would have come out for anyone else, but this was an early access point, so I can understand that. But if what I'm talking about, if you're going to reserve a particular set or an item that gives you the advantage over other players and reserve that for a microtransaction, that's what I don't agree with.
Yeah, that's why I like the cosmetic angle. I have no qualms with that.
How do you feel, curious Frozen, because I know you've played MMO, so this would pertain more to you. How do you feel about the games like ESO that sell like certain armor packs? Like I know Neverwinter does it as well, but those are free-to-play games.
That's a different case.
Yeah,
Is that different? Because they do sell armor packs where you can get additional equipment and stuff. But
can you earn those armor packs without paying for them?
I want to say some of them you can, some of them you can't. But I still think the best armor in the and I'm it's been a while since I've played either of those, so you don't quote me on it. But I know that they've done that where you could get certain armor that would definitely give you an advantage. If it would give you advantage to complete to the end of the game, I don't think so. But it would definitely give players an advantage that paid for it that versus who didn't.
Yeah, well, again, then I would have to stand. If that's the case, then I don't like that. You know, I'm just against that whole concept of having that particular item be exclusive to a microtransaction when other players in the game who may not be able to afford it, who, I don't know, maybe just don't know about it, they just want to enjoy the game, you know, they're not able to enjoy it because of these type of advantages that other people are paying for. I don't agree with that.
Gotcha. Well, I think we've said as much as we could on this subject. What the heck spurred that? Oh, that was just a Black Ops thing. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Ops.
I do have one update if I can.
Sure.
So in the last podcast, we talked about the new hard drive for the PS4.
Oh, yeah.
And I had mentioned that there was something that I had read or a rumor about the 1 terabyte versions of the PS4 using old hardware, where the 500 gigabyte version of PS4 actually used newer hardware that was more energy efficient and heat efficient. Well, I have been able to confirm that. I've gone online and taken a look at different articles. One in particular does state matter-of-factly, even gives the model numbers of the PS4 that it does exactly that. So, Giggles, to your question with your Destiny PS4, you know, whenever you get a chance, there is a model number of CUH, so Cat Umbrella Hell, I don't know, 1200. That is the newer version of the hardware, which reportedly is 36% more power efficient in the rest mode and will use 25% less power when operating. Huh. Now, the other model, the CUH 1100, which is the 1 terabyte version, it's just a bigger hard drive with the same original hardware. So that's something that maybe you could take a look at, and if listeners out there, if you're interested, definitely take a look at your system.
Cool. It's awesome you followed up on that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's super cool. I need to check that now.
Oh, we got that. Okay, so next thing, I'm actually really excited about this, if this were true. There has been a rumor that, or it has been seen that in a Nintendo eShop, there is a filing or a reference to Twilight Princess HD.
Oh my god, I heard about this.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that because I think Twilight Princess is a fairly underrated game. It doesn't break a lot of ground, I'll give it that, but I think it's one of the really good Zelda games to come out in a long time. But to play it HD, I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if it's a port. I don't know if it's a remaster. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is also part of a result of a Nintendo, messing around with new ways to show Zelda for the new Zelda game coming out next year, allegedly. Kind of like what happened with Wind Waker. That's how Wind Waker HD came about. But I'm looking forward to that the most. And what I feel Giggles is probably looking forward to the absolute most about that is the idea of playing Twilight Princess HD with no motion controls.
Oh my god. My life would be complete.
I would actually be very, very excited to try without motion controls. I want to play it on the Wii.
Well, I mean, I did play it for GameCube, but the thought is that I could get it now and it would still be that would make my day. I mean, to be honest, I'll go hunt my GameCube down and finish that game finally because I was so close. But
what if this does come out? You're gonna.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, it's Zelda. I'm just gonna throw money at it anyway.
But you're still gonna play the GameCube one.
I don't. You know what? I'd probably go and just play it over again.
Yeah.
All those games are so good that they're just, you know what the problem is they have such a moneymaker with Zelda. Anytime they say Zelda, I'm just like, how much? Just let me know.
Yeah, I'm the same
I'll
with
just
you.
send you a check. Can we just start doing like yearly checks with them? Like, we'll just give you all this money. And you
Zelda
just give
subscription.
Give me macro transactions.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Can we start that? Can we start that movement? Hashtag macro transactions.
No hashtags on this podcast. Okay, let's not. Would you like to take a selfie while you say that?
First, let me take a selfie.
I think I did do hashtag taking it to the streets after last week's.
Oh man, you
I'm gonna say this one more time, Giggles. No hashtags.
I'm hashtagging this so hard later.
I don't even know what that means.
hash browns.
I love hash browns. Can we talk about hash browns?
Is there a
I'm
game
serious.
called Hash Browns coming out?
I don't know, but I would play it.
I think there's a game by Potato Sack. It's coming out. Hash Browns.
So look, in all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of the breakfast potatoes. You know what I'm talking about? But
No.
I love hash browns, like the shredded hash browns.
Wait
I
a minute.
really
When you
enjoy.
say breakfast potatoes, do you mean like the cut up in cubes?
Yeah,
okay,
I forgot
yeah.
what that's called.
No, I definitely
Like home fries.
Homestop. Is that what the? Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll eat them, but I much prefer hash browns.
Wait, like you're talking about the red roasted potatoes or like the actual potatoes just cut into cubes?
Just potatoes, man. Just
But
No,
the ones they serve in
they're
like
very
breakfast joints.
different.
potato.
Anyway, way to derail that conversation. All right, so are you? That's like saying we're talking about hash browns. Wait, are you talking about cheese cubes? Or are you talking about sardines?
No, they're different. I'm very serious about potatoes.
I've never heard you so serious.
Wow, man.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm talking about the smaller potatoes.
Oh, they're amazing. Just the way they are.
Okay, so that being said, I'm very excited about Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah, I want
would love to
breakfast,
play
too.
that again.
Pumped.
For those of you who don't know, and it wouldn't be any of you, but you two would, I am on this kind of weird crusade to play all these Zelda games in their story order, and I'm glad I didn't get to Twilight Princess, and then they announced that, I'll go crazy. Right now, I'm still in Ocarina of Time. I'm doing that, but I'm doing the Master Quest. I never played that, so it's exciting.
Wow, that took me such a long time to play through. The Ocarina of Time, Jesus.
Okay, why don't we take a quick break, and we'll just continue after this break, because that's what breaks do. You guys cool with that?
Breaky breaks.
Breaks.
Breaks. I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so let's continue on. I had one more piece of news before we get into the question of the week.
Question of the
But
week.
again, but but then again, if anybody else wants to add anything, you go for it. That's cool. So, Wall Street Journal has actually reported something that a lot of people have been speculating about the Nintendo codename NX. Anybody know what that is?
No idea, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a new console.
Yes, but it's a particular detail about the console.
Ooh, tell me more.
Giggles, do you know what it is?
I had heard rumors about it, like, they've been talking rumors about NX for a while now. I think we actually talked about it last year.
So the answer is no. Okay, so basically, the Wall Street Journal the Wall Street Journal has found out that the NX would be simultaneously a handheld as well as a home-based console, living room console. And also, there was another detail where it would have some of the latest. Again, I'm not too technically savvy, but I'm having quotes around. I'm doing quote fingers. The latest chipsets available, as far as it being able to compete with, I guess, a PS4 and Xbox One. This is very interesting, and for me, I can't imagine a world video games that doesn't have a dedicated handheld gaming, system. I don't want to include mobile. So nothing against mobile games or anything. I just like having a separate. I don't even want to say more powerful because some of the latest mobile games I think are pretty. I think they're pretty robust, right, as far as visually. I don't want to knock them, but I like having something dedicated for gaming, but also kind of has an old school spirit, of the original Game Boy, or whatever. What are your thoughts
So,
on that?
so let me ask you a quick question, just so I understand what you're saying. So you're saying they're gonna release like a console that's both like a Game Boy and a console at the same time?
This is what I imagine. I imagine this portable. This okay. I imagine this portable thing is powerful enough that you could play pretty awesome games on the go, and at the same time, I mean, think of not streaming boxes, but you could just there might be a dock or something that you could just put this portable thing in, and voila, you have a console now that you can actually play on the big screen.
Huh.
Yeah, which means to me the main thing, the actual. So imagine the Wii U. Imagine the gamepad you could take anywhere with you and play games, and then you could just put that in some dock when you get home, and then it hooks up to the actual TV stuff. Frozen, what do you TV stuff? What the hell am I saying? Frozen, what do you think about that?
So, are they in this article? Do they say there's going to be are like their dev kits coming out, or is it
Yes.
just like okay?
The thing is, I don't know if the dev kits have that part, but I knew new Nintendo dev kits are starting to be seen in the wild.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on what that is?
What
A dev kit?
is?
Yeah.
Developers kit. It's usually a mock-up of the new console or device that is tailored towards developers so they can start tweaking it and building games to support that. And it also gives them the ability to kind of learn the inside and outs of that particular console and what its capabilities are so that they can plan the next generation of games coming out for it.
Okay. Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. For me, one thing that's been fairly frustrating about Nintendo is how, and I think this is just straight up Nintendo's fault because I think Sony has done an amazing job with on this in this aspect. How separate they've treated the 3DS with the Wii U, and also the DS with the Wii. It's one of the classic pains that any Nintendo fan has been aware of is if you want to play the original, Legend of Zelda on the Wii U. You got to buy it on that, and then you got to also buy it on the 3DS if you want to play it there. There was no cross-buy feature, and even they don't have the infrastructure for that because even now for cross-buy, the closest thing they do is if you were to buy one thing on one system, in the receipt you would get a download code for the other thing, for the other system. Where with Sony, with the Vita, even though the Vita's kind of dying off now, it's just there was a unified account, and if you bought something on the Vita and there was a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 version, you already had access to that, like with Limbo and other games, even things like Ollie Ollie, I'm just whatever, Hotline Miami, whatever. That's been a lot more streamlined. And Nintendo, I don't know what it was. Again, this generation, they just couldn't nail down that unified account. I think they're afraid of piracy or something, but they gotta bite the bullet. But at the same time, this idea that the console is the handheld and the home version in one kind of solves that issue for them. But one thing I'm thinking of is if it is the way that I thought it would be, where you take something with you, you put in a dock, you could play that on a screen. The kind of screwed up thing about it, what if you have more than one person at home? One person takes that thing. Are they going to be able to play at home while the other person has the main thing? Or is this something where it comes with something portable that you can download some of the information from the main system and then take that with you? But I don't know. I think it's very interesting.
It's a very complex problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll speak personally here. I think that Nintendo wants to branch out into a more mobile, I don't know, a more mobile partnership with gamers. Yeah, their DS and their portables has been amazing. The consoles now, I think, are overshadowed by the DS, just in the way that it's been. So it's had continued success with that, and I think probably they want to marry the two in a way. And you kind of mentioned about the Vita, and I know that there's a feature in the Vita that you can play your PS4 games with your Vita, right? Am I mistaken, or is that?
Yeah. Even PS3 games you can play, most of them.
So,
but that's streaming,
right? That is streaming. So maybe what you're saying is true. Maybe they will have something that is downloadable to whatever device that is detachable or made to be mobile, and you're able to take that with you and play the actual game without that streaming. But I don't know. I feel that Nintendo may want to branch out to that mobile market and start incorporating those types of things.
Well, they are doing mobile games. They've already announced that separately. And they've started the mobile market back with the Game Boy. That's nothing new.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is I think they don't want their own fans to have to pick or choose anymore. It's like, hey, you know what? You want to know what we do? Here's this system, and you pretty much have everything we're going to offer except the mobile games that are going to come out for cell phones and stuff. One thing that's interesting to me is if they do this, they have to compete with Xbox One and PS4. They have to. And if they do that, I think the biggest challenge for them is the portable end of this. Because with the portable games, they're going to have to make the portable games so impressive to have, think of a portable game that rivals a PS4 game. You know what I'm saying? Either that or they're going to have different versions of this game that are scaled down for the portable version, but, your progress would still carry through or something when you hook it up back home or whatever. It's just going to be a little strange as far as... It's interesting. I think what they have to nail down is the account system. If they can nail down the account system and embrace online community. I like the Miiverse, but we need to have chats. I need it, that camaraderie, that community that's built just upon just voice chat itself. I think it's necessary for them to do that. That's just me.
Cool.
I you know what?
Moving along. Question of the week.
Thanks.
Go for it.
Oh, thanks.
Stop wasting time, man.
No, well, I thought that's something I think they tried to model back when they had the GameCube and they released like Crystal Chronicles. It was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. They did it for what was it, the Four Swords adventure for Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Where they kind of started modeling that. I think they've been working towards.
I don't think so, though. I personally, that was trying to pioneer what we know today as the second screen experience. That's what that was doing. And asynchronous gameplay. This is trying to, from what I understand, they're trying to just straight up separate. Hey, you can go wherever you want, play the game, come back, play it at home.
Right. I mean, in a way, isn't it one kind of a step towards the other?
No, because you're talking about games that you play one game at the same time with two different perspectives. I'm saying you're playing one game in two completely different places at different times. Not like two simultaneous screens, it's just one screen at a time. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're trying to do. As long as it leads to some unification, that's fine. I would honestly like just straight up controllers again. I hope this doesn't mean we have to have another controller that has a screen on it, you know? But technically, I mean, if you think about it, this is supposed to replace this is supposed to be the successor to not only the Wii U but also the 3DS simultaneously. That's a huge feat they're gonna have to accomplish, and it's great for Nintendo to think that way. But I kind of hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot again by thinking too far out the box. It's a risk, but it might pay off really well, or it might not again. But we'll see.
Did you not like the Wii U?
I love the Wii U. I love the Wii U, but I'm just saying you're talking about with the second screen?
Yeah. I'm not saying that you hate if you like the Wii U as a whole. I'm just saying the setup of the Wii U.
The screen I enjoyed for certain games, but there were times where I just felt like I just want a normal, smaller controller, a more traditional controller.
Mm.
And I'm curious, are they going to still bring forth if I think this is what they might do, I don't know. If they are to bring forth, this could be their next system, I don't know if this is going to replace the Wii U. They might market it like, hey, this is just our next thing. They might do away with motion controls completely. And they might say, obviously speculation, they might say, if you enjoy motion controls or with all the other games, then please keep your Wii U. Or they might offer the Wii U cheaper or something like that. But things just seem to get really, thanks. Things seem to get really convoluted with all of these different motion controls. And if they keep making it more and more complex, I think that might be a bad thing to screw them over in the future. But either way.
That's fair. Well, we'll see. If they get rid of motion controls, I can't say I'd be upset.
Yeah.
I hear you. Should be interesting. It'd be cool if they can wrap up everything, the account thing that you were saying, and they probably will integrate mobile devices, and who knows, maybe your PC or something, who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool to see.
Okay, question of the week. This is going to be a pretty loaded question. And no, but mainly because we need to have this discussion. I want people to hear it. And I don't want to do anything before we had this discussion. We are going to start doing game reviews, and the first thing that I'm reviewing right now is Dragon Quest Heroes with some woeful tree in the village of Blight or something like that. I forgot what the weird subtitle was. I wanted to talk to you guys, discuss with you guys what a good rating scale is going to be numerically. And I think we should set up guidelines right now so we're all on the same page. Just so we're all on the same page. So one thing I want to propose, something, I don't want to make anything too complex, but I do like the idea of, first off, having numbers, but also going from to scale from 0 to 10. What are your thoughts on that?
I would agree with the 1 through 10 because I think if we do half of that to 1 through 5, I think that would put a restriction on some of the things that might determine the outcome of our review for that.
Oh, you're saying instead of like 3.5 or out
Right.
of 5, we can have like 7.9
Right.
instead of just 7. Okay. Giggles?
I agree with Frozen. I like doing like being able to say like 7.8. I mean, I think that I agree with that. That's just my Frozen kind of hit the nail on the head with that.
Cool. Another thing I wanted to ask, and this was something I was thinking about, it's pretty interesting, is the most average game, just, nothing outstanding, but nothing underwhelming. What should be our average score? One thing we have to consider, and we have to consider the possibility that in the future, our scores might also be included in Metacritic. So one thing we have to consider is how other people, what they think average is. So let me just start off the bat, okay? Do you think 5 out of 10 describes an average game?
I don't think it does.
With your gut. I'm not saying numerically, because numerically 5 out of 10 is the average number.
Oh well, I'm saying with my gut, it doesn't describe the average game.
Rosen?
I would say it does. I mean, that to me, if I see a rating of a 5 out of a 10 for a game, I would consider that to be something I can play, and I may want to play it multiple times, but it's not going to be something that it's outstanding.
So you're saying if you read a review just on a game, and you saw this game, just not from us, just in general, 5 out of 10, you think that's not saying that's a bad game?
I'm saying it's a okay game.
Okay. So you're saying a bad game would get like a 4 out of 10, and a 6 out of 10 would be starting as a good game to you?
I don't know about using the exact words, bad and good, but
No, that's what I'm saying. So average, I want to make sure we understand, average is neither good nor bad. Like, there's no connotation with average, that's a bad game, or, it's a good game. So I want to use these words subjectively. This is the rub. This is what sucks about this, right? This is why I want to have this discussion with you guys.
When I look at that kind of rating system, using that 1 to 10 rating system, the way I look at it is when you're saying a game's a 10 out of 10, like, I know a lot of people gave Metal Gear Solid 5 a 10 out of 10. And to me, that means if anyone that plays video games picks up that game and plays that game, they're going to thoroughly enjoy that game and love that game.
And thoroughly, yes, I agree.
If it's a 9 out of 10, to me, you're saying that basically everyone's going to like this game, but there's a small group of people out there that might not care. There might be parts about the game they don't like, and then as you go down, that obviously the amount of things that people don't like increases.
Right. I don't want to go through every number. I just wanted to.
No, I'm not going through every number, but I'm just saying that's how it would degrade.
I understand, but okay. First, let me just ask you one question really quickly. Again, average above whatever number we're gonna agree on is considered good, because if you're in the middle of the road, you have to go in one direction is good, the other direction has to be bad. So my question to you, Frozen, is what number out of 10 minimally describes good to you? And you can do point whatever.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Because I was just about to say, in my personal life, I don't look at reviews for games. That's not something that I actively look for, and I don't look for a description of somebody else's experience within a game.
That's fine, but we're
But
doing this now, though. That's the thing. So you're gonna have to think like that now.
well, that's what I'm going to say. So it's going to be difficult for me to switch that on. But to put it in a number base, if we're assuming everything that we're going through a 10 base system, you said what would be an okay game for me? Is that what you asked me?
Well, okay, so average,
An average game,
neither good nor bad. Like,
neither good nor bad, would be a 5 to me.
okay. What about movie reviews? I'm just curious. I'm not saying video games are movies or anything. What about movies?
Same question. What is an okay movie based on a 10 base?
Yeah.
A 5.
Okay. All right. So we have Giggles. What was average for you?
An average for me, I said it was like a 7.
Okay. And you're saying a 5. All right. So I feel I feel 7. Yeah, I don't agree with the 5. I feel 7. It feels right to me. But we need a number we can all agree on.
Well, I'm going to say this. If Frozen, so if you get a game that was a 5, to you, does that mean like it's like a 50% chance that if I was to pick up the same game that you gave a 5, there's the 50% chance that I'm going to play it or like it or not?
See, I don't think it works that way, though. Giggles.
Well, no, I'm just asking what his perspective is why it's a 5. I don't know if it works that way, I'm just asking. Because I know that he doesn't really read reviews, so...
For me personally, it's a 5. There's nothing outstanding about this game. There's nothing inherently awful about this game. It is just a regular run-of-the-mill game that some people might enjoy and some people might not enjoy.
Okay.
It's an average game. That's what a definition of an average game is to me.
If you were going to give a game, let's say an 8 out of 10, what would that game have to have?
8 out of 10, it would have to have replayability. It would make me thoroughly enjoy playing the game. If it's a story-based game, then something that's going to draw my attention and something that's going to be interesting. The mechanics.
Okay. What if it did that? No replayability. Is there a game that can deserve an 8 out of 10 if there was no replayability, but was really good, story-wise?
Yeah, I could see myself doing that.
Oh, so you're okay. So you're describing. You're not saying everything. All of these have to be fulfilled to get an 8 out of 10, but you're saying different ways that something possibly could get up there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have I'll be honest with you. I don't have a structure of saying, you know what, an 8 game is going to have all of these. Like, that's going to be difficult for me to nail down, and I think that's
I don't
what
think
we're trying to do.
that's anything anybody should do. I think at the end of the day, the number we put down individually would have to be a gut number. You know, I don't think there's really. It's kind of weird. I don't think there's any math, and I don't think this feature should add one like a 0.5 to whatever score it started with. Right. But yeah, no. So I definitely see why you say 5 out of 10 for you is.
I think I could make that work. Knowing his perspective on it. I think I could look at it that way and go, okay, I could see where this could be
yeah, so I just want to make sure. So 5 out of 10, from your perspective, Frozen, is I neither enjoyed nor disliked this game.
Right.
Okay. So has nothing to do with, it shouldn't have anything to do with some people might like it, some people might not. Because that depends on what that kind of thing that person likes, what kind of genre they like to play.
Right.
But for you personally, you neither enjoyed nor disliked the game.
Exactly.
So, okay, so why don't we just throw this out there? I know I'm putting both of you on the spot. Name a game that you neither enjoyed nor disliked. You can think of. I just thought of this question, so I don't know the answer yet for me.
Oh my god, what was the game we were just playing last week?
I swear to God, if you say Rocket League, I'm gonna smack you.
No, 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 not Rocket League. Rocket League would definitely be higher than that.
Okay.
I really like Rocket League. No, it's one of the part of the series that we're doing. Brainal yours.
Oh, was it?
Akiba's Trip.
Okay, so you didn't enjoy that at all?
No, it really didn't draw me in, but I can't say it's a horrible game. Like, I can't say there's something I dislike about it.
Okay. What about Onichambara? What would you give that? Above or below Akiba's Trip? Granted, you have not played the whole game,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go over that too.
I was gonna say that kind of factors in, so because I can only base it obviously
No,
off
okay.
the.
Let me rephrase that. Name a game that you've played to completion, or very close to completion that you've given an honest effort that you neither enjoyed nor disliked.
Ooh, that's that. I need a second on that one.
And by the way, I can. If we can do, I'm gonna actively really try to not curse, and if we can have this discussion without cursing, and you guys rarely curse, I'm the one who usually curses. I understand that. It would make the editing a lot better for this, because this might be a long conversation. But
Sure.
No, that's totally fine. A game that I got near to completion that was a 5.
and it doesn't have to be recent. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to.
no, and again, that's not a 5. Okay, for you, that is neither good. Like you didn't enjoy nor
Right, that's
dislike.
what I meant. It's that. I don't know. Does anyone think of a game? Can anyone think of a game that they would say?
So,
There's one I'm
listening,
thinking of.
yeah, there's two that I'm thinking of, but I'll just give you one, I guess. Explosion Man.
See, that's I enjoyed that one, but you're just saying for you personally.
Yeah, I'm
that's
giving.
what you said.
Yeah, just a personal thing. The other one, yeah, I'll say the second one was the new one, the Evolve.
Evolve was the one I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah.
Evolve is so middle of the road for me that
Right.
it's like, yeah, you know, meh. Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. It's okay.
yeah. I don't see myself going back to it, but I didn't hate it,
Right. No, definitely. It's not something that I'm going to sit here and say, man, really want to play Evolve. If it happens to be like, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, you know what? We haven't played Evolve for a while. Let's do that. It's like, oh, sure, okay.
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 I got
Okay.
one.
Okay, go for it.
Killzone Shadowfall.
Now that I agree with you.
Okay.
Yes,
No,
because
I
I
have
have
not played
that.
that game. So
I have
you.
that, and it's not something that I'm actively saying I need to go back to play that game. It's an okay game.
Right, I'm at the end of it, and I really have no. There's nothing that like makes me feel like I have to beat it.
Okay, next question. Name. Let's talk about an average good game. An average good game. So, of all the good games you've played, what is something that was like that's pretty good? Like something you're like that's pretty good. It was all right, like that. Not as it's okay. It was all right. It's all right to you. What is that? I want to know a game, not the score yet. We'll figure out the score
Right.
in a second.
Right.
Sorry if I'm banging the desk. I'm sorry. I'm just popping my nugs.
The last Pokemon.
I can see that, even though I have not beaten it.
Right, I haven't beaten it. I've gotten pretty far.
Okay, what about a game that you have beaten? Because I think this would have a higher chance of us beating a game.
Game I have beaten. I guess this question's hard for me because of the fact that unless it's a really good game,
You don't beat them.
I usually I get pretty far and then another better game comes out and I come back way later and I like it more or less or I just don't come back.
Oh, so Destiny is a game for you you're talking about.
What?
Frozen?
I have to think about this. So no number system, and it was just it was good. That's my genuine reaction.
Yeah, but with no hint of meh. It was like, yeah, it was good.
No, it was a good game.
You wouldn't call it great, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, wouldn't you call it good because of the fact that it was a good game, you enjoyed it, but there were little things that kind of tweaked you?
Again, no, I'm just going with gut right now. Yeah, that's all I want to say. If that applies to what you said with Pokemon, that's good. That was a good answer.
Yeah, I'll go with. I'm gonna stay with Pokemon.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay. All right, cool.
That's a good one, Frozen. That's a good one.
Um,
Because after being a pirate, I could totally see that.
oh my god. I can't believe
It's true.
I'm trying to remember the freaking games I've played recently. For some reason, this is just it's out there. I'm thinking Beyond Two Souls. I'm gonna say that. Something like Beyond Two Souls. So next question is, what number would you give those games out of 10?
I think for me, Assassin's Creed Black Flag would get about a 6.5. 6.5.
That's funny because I was thinking of giving Pokemon like a 6.5 or 7.
Okay. See, I feel like a 7 for me would do it. Okay. All right. So now, next question. We're gonna have this pattern. Okay. Next question: which game would you consider is a great game?
Destiny.
That's fair.
Mass Effect.
Yes, definitely would be up there on the great scale.
Okay, which Mass Effect? First one. We unfortunately we can't do whole like
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, 3 for me was great. I love that game.
Well, I don't know, but technically they did come out with Mass Effect trilogy. But let's ignore that for now.
Right. 2.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, that's hard because I loved all the Mass Effect games, so I'd probably say they're all great in their own way.
Yeah, that I understand, but if I'm asking for one game,
Well, I mean, to me, Mass
That's
Effect
great.
3 would probably be even higher than that, so I guess that'd be perfect. I would agree with 2.
cool. Dang, man, I'm trying to think. Great game. I'm gonna think something like let's go with Limbo. Limbo. So can we all agree that this type of game is something you feel like other people should definitely try?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think other people should experience. Yes.
Okay, whether or not they happen to be a fan of that genre or not,
Yes.
it's something that should try at least.
Yeah, I think once
Yes.
it hits that point.
Okay, cool. So what number are you gonna give with that?
An 8?
Yeah, I would give 9.5.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like an 8 or an 8.5.
I say that because on the way that we're going... Oh, I'll let you keep going because I'll just say it
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, so there is one more level. Okay,
Yeah.
so obviously, yeah. So this level is, and if this happens, feel free to readjust anything you've said before if you had to, because I know you don't. Anyway, so all right. So name a game that you think everybody that is so great. I don't want to say perfect. I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect game, but so great that you've thoroughly enjoyed. It's one of those games that you feel like you would say is definitely one of the top 10 I ever played in my life, even though it may or may not be true. And that you feel like everybody, no matter what, should not just try out, but really give an honest shot. Not just hey, just try it out. Like, just, you got to sit down and play this. You have to absolutely play this at some point.
Deus Ex, hands down.
The recent one, right?
Yeah.
For me, Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross. Okay. For me, oh, man, that's gonna be. damn, I don't know what I'm gonna say for myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Portal. I'm gonna say Portal. So, what would you give those games numbers wise?
10.
I would give it a 9.5/10.
Okay, I would give Portal like 9.5. Um, Now I there's something I need to tell you about me. I personally feel that our boundaries of scores of 0 and 10 I think should be reference scores and completely unachievable. This is my personal opinion though. I feel like how close you are to those should tell you how much you are. So if I had my way completely, I think the highest score we should technically give is a 9.9 to really show that. Because I don't know how people would take a 10 as far as, when we decide on what a 10 is. Um, that's why I'm not saying a 10 personally for me. So I'm going to go with a 9.5. So Frozen, something I noticed with you, there's a discrepancy, not a discrepancy. So you went from, we had 5 to about 6.5, then to a 9.5 and 10. So how would you describe games that are more like an 8 for you?
I would
And not with
describe.
not with features, just like
No,
qualifiers, I guess.
games that don't necessarily. Man, see, this is difficult, man, because
I know. I apologize for putting, but I want to hear it from you guys.
I really don't think I would be able to nail down a rule set of what my personal 8.5 would be, because every game is different and I'm going to experience it differently depending on
Yeah, I
so
know,
many
but I'm
different
not
factors.
asking for features. Okay, how about this? Name a game that you would rank an 8 or around an 8.
Metal Gear Solid?
The first one.
Yes.
Okay. Um, all right. So you would not consider Metal Gear Solid great, but really good.
Yeah, that's a really good game. Yes, I
Okay,
would say
cool.
that.
Okay. I think that's where you're coming from. Um, okay, so I think what's happening is Frozen's really good is, at least mine, maybe yours, Giggles, our greats are his really goods. His great, Frozen's great, is our, like, really great, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay. So it's kind of weird because we have to be in sync with when we, what we mean by good or great or whatever. Um, okay, so here's the question. This should be pretty interesting. What would you all rate Destiny? I'm trying to think of a game we all play. Everything included, like everything, the whole shebang that's out now, not when it first came out.
So you're saying right
So,
now, as of today?
Correct.
yeah, right now it'd be 7.5 to 8.
See, I agree with that. I feel like that way.
I would probably give it an 8.5, an 8 to an 8.5.
Okay, cool. Um, I feel like when we actually not record, when we actually rate games, yeah, I don't think there should be any rule set at all about how long the game takes, replayability, how great the story is. I think that's stuff we should definitely talk about, obviously, in the actual written review or recorded review or whatever. But when it comes to the number, I think the number should just straight up be gut feeling. But I just wanted to make sure we had a conversation as far as I honestly think we are all fairly close to the same page with each other numerically, but I think what we say through words as far as qualifiers, like good, great, very good, or whatever, were just a little different for us. But I think we would usually give, I think, a pretty spot on gut feeling number rating with this discussion. I do want to have a short discussion about like really crappy games. I do want to get there too. But how do you guys have any thoughts so far?
It's no, I really don't. I mean, I have no problem doing the, yeah. What I'm saying is, I agree with you.
Cool, cool. Giggles?
No, I like the scale that we're kind of looking at.
Okay. Um, okay. So another thing that this is something I'm gonna have to work on is reviewing a game that I personally, let's say, reviewing a game that is in a franchise that I'm a big fan of. So like favoritism or just being fanboyism or whatever. That's something I'm personally have to work on with really trying to see a game as objectively as possible or the least subjectively as possible, and the final at least number score I'm gonna give is this is something I was toying around in my mind. The final score. Let's for example, let's say it's a Zelda game, right? So if there's a Zelda game that came out, my non-reviewer self would have said like, oh yeah, definitely like immediately 10 out of 10, best Zelda game yet. Next, let's give him better. But at the same time, I feel I would have to give a numerical score for a game that I'd have to take the fanboy hat off and be like, okay, what does this for someone who's not a fan, of this, with not comparing this to any other Zelda game or whatever. How is this game as it is numerically? And I feel like in our reviews we should mention things like, as obvious as it sounds, if you are a fan of this series, then your personal score should be higher than what we are putting. Or maybe if it's a really big letdown, if you are a fan of the series, you might be super disappointed or whatever. But I don't think that should be factored into the actual final number. What do you guys think of that? The official number, I should say.
Yeah, regardless of whether you're a personal fan of the series, I think personally you should review the game as the game is and not include it into the rest of the games in that series.
I think that's true. I think that your gut feeling, though, is going to alter that by somewhat. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a variance there.
Yeah. But what if, like, for example, let's say the next Deus Ex game coming out. Okay. What if you personally if you just imagine, you just saw this game, and trust me, I started playing Dragon Quest Heroes, and I'm telling you, I kind of knew, but I didn't really understand how kind of grueling it is to review a game. To play the whole freaking thing and to think of different aspects of it I never thought of before and take notes and stuff. But I'm not looking at it as a Dragon Quest game. I'm not looking at it as a Samurai Warriors game at all. I'm just looking at it as it is. I feel like when you play the next Deus Ex game, I feel like you could personally, even Assassin's Creed, I feel like you could personally just forget the title. Just be like, oh, this is just a new franchise. This is a completely new franchise, and I think you'd factor in that in properly with your number.
Yeah, I would definitely want us to do that. I wouldn't want us to play favoritism or be biased to a game just because of our own personal enjoyment of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that no matter what, it's going to play a small role, but I think I could separate it enough where it wouldn't alter my score. You know what I mean? Like, if the game's really a 6, I'm not going to put it like a 9. You know what I mean? Just because I like the game.
Right, or the franchise, right.
Right, like a Zelda game. Like, in your heart of hearts, it's a 10 out of 10. Because it's a Zelda game.
The instant I press the on button, it's like 10 out of 10?
Right.
But, yeah, I don't want to do that.
And just like with Destiny, we all wanted Destiny to be a 10 out of 10. But we all agreed none of our scores were 10 out of 10.
Yeah, because we said, what was like 7.58? Is that what we said?
Yeah. You guys said 7.5 around there.
I think that's an honest of as it is today,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I hope it improves, but I think it's fair. Like, I think that's fair. Maybe it gets a half a point higher than, my truly unbiased opinion just because a part of it's in there.
As long as we mention that in our review.
Right. I think long as you do that, it's okay. I think the readers and our listeners will understand. And I'm sure that when reviews come out, we'll talk about them on here. And people will understand and appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, okay, so what about? We'll make this fairly quick because I feel like we're all pretty much on the same page. Uh, I think what's actually pretty difficult is doing things below 5 out of 10 as far as ranking them because when games start to suck, it's a pretty slippery slope, right? And what would you think? What would you think a 3 out of 10 would be?
I know what a 3 out of 10 was for me, and I don't get mad at me.
Frozen, what do you think a 3 out of 10 is? No, you did not give that an honest shot, did you?
What do you think I was gonna say?
What were you gonna say?
What did you think I was gonna say? What game?
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Resident Evil 4.
What? Okay, no. Oh. Okay, why? No, I'm just curious. I thought you were gonna say Rocket League.
No, I don't know why you think I hate Rocket League. Rocket League's a great game.
Why? I'm very curious. Why Resident Evil 4 a 3 out of 10?
I didn't like the way the game was set up. One.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Remind me. When did you play Resident Evil 4?
I got it. It came out on GameCube. I played it on the GameCube years ago.
Okay, yeah. So upon release then.
Yeah, within months of release. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So just really briefly tell me why you would give that a 3 out of 10. So you're saying that's a bad game?
Yeah, for me it was a bad game. I didn't like.
How far did you get in it?
I played it for like the first few hours. And I just couldn't. I restarted, I think, the game like 2 or 3 times.
What? So what?
Because alright, so I never played one of those. This real quick. I never played one of those before. I wanted to try one. Everyone was raving about it. I picked it up. I couldn't get into it. I tried. I didn't like the way the game was set up. I didn't like the play style. I didn't think it like matched my attitude of the game or the attitude of the game in general. It just, for me, it just was not a quality experience, and I ended up just returning it, like within a few days of buying it, and I've never looked back.
I knew there was a reason why I hated you, but I didn't realize until today. No, I'm gonna straight up murder you. But you know what? Teach their own. And I know you're never gonna freaking. I know you're never gonna review a scary game or a tense game.
And you know what? It might be closer. Like I said, that might be a thing. I'm giving it a 3. Maybe it's closer to a 4, 4.5. But
that's ironic. I would give I would give Resident Evil 6 a 3 out of 10.
I never played that game, so I can't comment on that.
Right, what about you, Frozen? 3 out of 10.
You guys are probably not gonna like me on this. Halo.
Oh no! I see where you're coming from.
You're saying the first Halo.
We're talking about a game, one game. I don't think he's ever played Halo. No. You're referring to Halo 3?
No. I've played Halo. I played Halo 2, and I played Halo 3.
And you've beaten them or close to beat them?
I have beaten them.
Okay.
If I had to...
I didn't know you had an Xbox.
Yeah, I had the original Xbox.
Oh, no, that's right, because you played Elder Scrolls.
Right.
Morrowind. Yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
I don't know which one... See, this is a difficult thing because I don't want to look at it as a series.
Right.
But to me, all 3 of those, 1, 2, and 3, they feel the same to me. So I'll just say Halo, and I guess that'll be just 1, I guess.
No, we can't do that, though. Okay, here's a question. Did you play Halo 1 or 2 at least with multiplayer?
Yeah, I did the whole thing. I played the story, and I played multiplayer. And as a matter of fact, Halo 2, I jumped into multiplayer before anything and didn't want to even bother with the story. And then I figured, I might as well play the story to see if it's gotten any better. But I was ultimately disappointed when I finished it.
Okay.
So then I'll say 2. I'll say
This
2.
is so interesting.
Halo 2.
Okay. Damn. So we're playing. Ironically, the game, the games that were like 3 out of 10. A lot of other people really, do loud as really good games, but,
But here's the thing: I feel like our reasons for why the game wasn't good are very similar.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, don't get me wrong, Frozen. I'm not disagreeing with you, Frozen. But basically, it's just interesting because I thought we were gonna come up with a game that. Okay, let me put it this way. This is something I'm starting to realize. I think 3 out of 10 describes a game you guys hate.
No.
Like
No.
No. I'm not saying you think it's like a very bad game, but I think it's just funny. We were going to games that we just straight up, either
Don't enjoy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, are there any games that we can agree on that are 3 out of 10? I'll ask it that way.
Well, how much time you guys have tonight? I mean, you know.
No, I'm saying, here's my point. There are many games that we played that we probably didn't enjoy, but the first thing to come to both of your minds, Halo and Resident Evil 4, were games that I feel like we are actively not liking. No, don't get me wrong. I understand why you guys don't like the games, and I agree with both of you with what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? But it's just there has to be like just straight up bad games that none of us like. It can't be that hard to find one, right?
No, I mean, I'm sure if we go on the list, it's just quite a lengthy list. I mean...
Okay, what would you guys give a 1 out of 10? How about that?
1 out of 10.
So this would have to be a game worse than, Halo 2 for you, Frozen, and Resident Evil 4 for you, Giggles.
1 out of 10.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, we kind of avoid crappy games.
Right. I don't think there's a game that I would have played that if it was that bad that I would have even picked up the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have walked in the store and it would have been something that like I just walked by because I just instinctively knew that game was not a game I was ever going to play.
Yeah, and I'll say this game, and I'll say that I haven't finished this game because it was that bad to me. So Tekken.
I might give Tekken a 2, but I could understand that.
Yeah, I never got into Tekken. Never did.
But that's the thing. For me, like a lot of the fighting games are gonna be on the lower side of the scale. Just because I don't care for that play style.
Gotcha.
But like for example, like Mortal Kombat, you guys love Mortal Kombat. I'm not gonna give that a 3 or a 1, but I might give that like a
But why wouldn't you though? I mean, you haven't played it, right?
I've played Mortal Kombat.
Know. The new one that just came out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you played the new one. Name what something you like about it.
I was playing at my buddy. I liked it. We had a good time. It was fun for like the short time, but it's just not my thing. I just don't care for that play style.
Okay, so which brings me to the last point. We need to discuss games that I think we should avoid because we would not be a good representation of, not liking the play style. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So are there any genres or any types of games that you guys want to avoid reviewing, just so I know?
Sport games.
Oh, I don't think any of us are going to review any sports games. Giggles, that's on you. If you want to do... Frozen, I'm with you on this, okay?
I do play the occasional sports game.
Good, then you do it. You do it for us, okay? Because
but I'm not saying
I forgot about those.
Yeah, but I barely play them though. I own...
Are you playing Madden right now?
No, I'm not. I haven't bought Madden in 3 years.
And for the record, NBA Jam is not a sports game. It's a video game.
I don't own that one either.
He's on fire.
I might honestly...
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Race car games?
Wait, sorry, purse games?
Race car games?
Oh, race car games. Oh, got games with race cars in them.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's exactly what they are.
Yeah. So you're okay with sports athlete games, but race car games you're not okay with?
No.
Okay.
It's just, to me, it's the same thing over and over again.
No, sorry, I was being facetious. Just the way you said it. Race car games.
Well, what would you call
Well,
that?
hold on. Okay. Let's be a little bit. Okay, we have arcade racing, and then there's something like simulator racing. Are you referring to both of those? Like arcade, I would even lump Mario Kart in that. Versus something like Forza or Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo. What was that? Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo.
I'd have to think about that for a minute, because I
You're in a
like,
cave?
Yeah.
I wouldn't include I wouldn't include Mario Kart with Gran Turismo.
I know that. Okay, all right. What about horror games?
Horror games?
I will never
What
be
about
able.
horror games?
I will never be able to fairly. I don't know if I'd be able to play through them.
Well, okay, so I'll give you the serious answer for that. It'll be very difficult for me to play through a horror or survival horror game or any type of a horror game, but I do see myself being very matter of fact to the gameplay of that, because I'll give you a very good example. I did not like Dead Space at all, and yet I really like Silent Hill. Both those games I haven't finished. And both of the games I've just played a little bit of it.
So you're saying you'd still give it a fair grade?
Yeah, I would definitely give it a shot. Definitely.
Cool. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. I was looking at the list of games coming up. I just realized, oh my god, this is gonna be a pain in the butt. When it comes to reviews, actually, I'll mention this after the podcast, just with you guys. I want to talk to you guys, and it won't take long, but. Okay, I feel a lot more confident about how I'm going to grade Dragon Quest Heroes based off of what we are collectively going over. So we're cool with the up to 10. It could be point whatever, but one digit after the point, right? We're not going to do point.
Yeah.
Good. And we are agreeing that... Yeah, I think we pretty much were on the same page. So the average game, but average, let's not use the word average, a meh game, a middle-of-the-road game, is a 5 out of 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
To me.
Cool. A great game, we are, so, yeah, I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm good. You guys good?
Yeah.
So, are you not going to say the number?
No, because I feel like we're good. You know, and I think we're just trying to, again, I don't want to go back to tying the words great and good back to the numbers, because that's, I think, where we differ on, but our numbers are solid, and I think we're good with that.
Yeah, I think there's a gray area here, and we all enter parts of the gray area, so I think we're good on that.
We don't have to get sexual about this, okay? We're deviant. Anyway, okay. So we are Brainal. This has been a longer than usual podcast for obvious reasons, but it was a good one. Anyone who has been listening, thank you, of all races and genders and ages. Thank you all. We appreciate it. Yeah, and again, on behalf of Brainal.net, this is Jepi Condile.
Frozen GFX.
Mr. Giggles.
And we are looking forward to hearing from you next time. All right. Did not play that one out.
Kind of sounded Italian at that. See you on the next time.
Next time. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Peace.
Hey guys, welcome to another Brainal podcast. I am Mr. Giggles.
I'm Frozen GFX.
Are...
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh. Ooh.
This is the greatest start we've had to any podcast. Just putting it out there. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Welcome to the Giggles podcast.
Giggles, try it again. Let's start over again.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the Brainal podcast. This is Mr. Giggles.
And this is Frozen GFX.
I heard him. This is Mr.
Did he question himself? It's like he questioned himself.
So. I'm putting all of this in there, by the way. This is going to be great. All right. Giggles, go for one more time.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the Brainal podcast. This is Mr. Giggles.
Frozen GFX.
And Jepi Condyle.
I love this.
All right.
Greatest podcast ever.